Meet some people that you've never met before, and foster relationships with people that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Me too. Here's a cardinal sin that we always do. We always get frustrated. We always find ourselves worried. We always find ourselves very anxious. Usually when that happens, it means we're making it about us. So what I've learned is that as soon as you take the focus off of yourself and put it on other people and focus on them, then you have better days. When you focus on them, do things like think about when you get nervous and when you get frustrated, when you get so mad at what's going on in your own life, just think about who can you teach? Who can you go out and coach? To whom can you reach out to lend a helping hand? Because when you do that, people are going to they're going to like you, which is always a great thing. And then people are going to respect you, and you're going to feel much better about life. And it's just a great feeling, especially if you've chosen at such an early age to get involved in the hospitality industry. The quicker that you learn that it's not about you, it's about other people, the more successful you're going to be. And once you get into leadership, that's pretty much the most important thing to remember is once you become a leader of people, a leader of teams, a leader of a hotel, a leader of whatever it is, even my friends back here who are going on the court tonight, when they realize that it's not about them, it's about leading and inspiring other people to go do something, those are the people that are champions. Those are the people that are the best leaders. Have anybody following the Lynn Sanity phenomenon going on right now in New York? So there's a quick story. There's a guy that plays for the New York Knicks right now. He was a graduate of Harvard University. Ivy League school. Let's face it, there are not a lot of NBA players that come out of Ivy League schools. So about 2, 3, 4 years ago, he was drafted deep in the second round. He goes to the NBDL, the development league for the NBA. He's about probably this tall, maybe. He's an Asian American fella. And he was 5 or 6 days from being cut, from being out of basketball. Carmelo Anthony, superstar, gets hurt. Amari Stoudemire's brother passed away, so he takes a few days off, a few weeks off, so they don't have him. Jeremy Lin steps up. The Knicks have won 6 straight games. Jeremy Lin has scored 136 points in 5 games, and it's the biggest story in sports right now. If you thought Tebow was big, this is becoming bigger. And it's funny, I was getting ready for this morning, and I'm watching Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN2, on ESPN Radio, and they showed a press conference of Jeremy Lin. The first thing he said about life, he hit a game-winning shot last night with a time ticking down. He hit a game winner to win their 6 straight games. The first thing he said was, everybody needs to realize this is not because of me. It's because we're playing as a team. So I thought that really fit in with making it about people. So I believe if you can truly focus on making this thing about people, you will have better days. We're almost through, so stay with me. Stay with me. I have 2 more. The next idea is practice. So growing up, my friends in basketball back in the back, they probably have heard this a lot. My basketball coach used to say GS, GS, GS. That stood for game shots, game spots, and game situations. So anytime we were in practice, before, during, and after practice, it was all about practicing on real-life game shots that you would take in a real-life game situation from real-life game spots on the floor, rather than shooting those half-court shots and goofing around and doing NBA layup lines and trying to dunk. I used to be able to dunk. So I love this one too, and I helped another blog post out over the course of the last year, and the idea is practice. So when you get out there, I will guarantee you one thing. Things will become annoying. You will have classes that you don't like. You will have jobs that you don't like. You will have days that are not as magical as others. But what you can do in order to make those days a little bit better is think of it as practice. So if you know that one day you want to be a vice president in hotel operations like Cindy O'Keefe, or if you know that one day you want to go and you want to be in the travel trade, and you want to do tours, or you want to be a salesperson, think about what today is before you that you can use as practice to get into those goals that you have. For example, I was a front desk manager about 7 or 8 years ago at Disney's Pop Century Resort. And front desk is very hard. And I didn't like it because it was very hard. Just kidding. But I knew I didn't want to stay in front desk for the rest of my life. I wanted to get into sales. So what could I do is I I focus on things while a front desk manager that will help me one day in sales. So whenever there was a contest or whenever there was an initiative at Walt Disney World to sell more Disney tickets, I always tried to be around the ball. I always tried to be the person that on my team that led the initiatives to drive more sales at the front desk of those Disney tickets. And then I was able to then leverage that and use it later on in my interviews to become a sales manager at Walt Disney World. So think about it as practice if things get annoying. Because you can always find something to work on. You can always find something to practice for the next thing or for the next job that you can then look back one day and go, oh, I see now why I was able to do that. Or why that was important, because I'm able to do this today a little bit better. Because I've practiced. The last thing is very important, and this one just hit me. This one just hit me last week. I go to Central Christian Church here in town. I don't know if anybody goes there. Was anybody there this past week? And actually last weekend at Lincoln Brewster camp. He said today is the day. And so what I want to just end with today is that while it's very important to think about always being in the mindset of if it's annoying today, if you don't really love it, well then find something to practice. Well, here's a quick secret. The reality is this is it. This is the show. This is the real thing. So it's important that we don't miss today. Today is the day. Today's really the day that matters. Yesterday's over. We can't change what we messed up. We can't change what didn't go so great. Tomorrow is important, but it's a whole day away. Today is the day that matters. We have to get through today in order to reap the benefits of tomorrow. So I would just encourage everybody that as you, wherever you are, whatever you have coming up here in the next couple months, the next couple years, wake up every morning and say to yourself that today is the day. Challenge yourself to get the most out of today as possible, because if we don't, we're going to look back one day and we're going to wish that we laughed more than we did. We're going to wish that we made more relationships, or that we took more advantage of the opportunities that we had to make stuff happen, if we don't realize that today is the day. So, thank you very much for having me here.